There is still very little that we know about Metroid Prime 4, but there is one mystery in particular that I want to focus on today, and that has to do with Sylux. What do we know about this character, and what can we figure out about this character and how it could relate to the story for Metroid Prime 4? Welcome everyone, this is AndresRestart, and this time we're talking about Sylux and his potential involvement with Metroid Prime 4. So for starters, I just want to say that Sylux is definitely going to be involved with Metroid Prime 4 in some way. First of all, Sylux was following Samus at the end of Metroid Prime 3, and yes, that is confirmed information. I will put a link to the source in the description below. And it was also confirmed that Sylux was at the end of Metroid Prime Federation Force, stealing and hatching the Metroid Egg. Both of these endgame sequences seem to be teases for Metroid Prime 4. But it's not only for these endgame cutscenes that I believe Sylux will be in Metroid Prime 4. In an interview from Eurogamer in 2015, this is what Kensuke Tanabe, the producer for the Metroid Prime series, had to say. The stories of Dark Samus and Phazon are done now. We see Sylux, another hunter from Metroid Prime Hunters, at the end of Metroid Prime 3. Personally, I'd like to create a story centering around Sylux and Samus. We've done a story based on the Hunters, and with Federation Force, we're doing a story on the Galactic Federation. I would like to cross the two over in the future and of course see more of Samus. So I definitely want to focus on this quote because I think this gives us a lot on what we can expect in Metroid Prime 4. But before we delve into that, let's first go over a brief history of who Sylux is. Now, truth be told, we don't know that much about Sylux, but this is what we do know. Sylux is one of the other 6 hunters that Samus encountered in Metroid Prime Hunters in pursuit of the ultimate power. At the end of the game, all of the hunters escaped, which means that maybe all of these hunters could be reincorporated into Metroid Prime 4. That is a possibility. But nevertheless, Sylux is alive and he was following Samus at the end of Metroid Prime 3, and he also invaded the Galactic Federation and stole the Metroid Egg at the end of Metroid Prime Federation Force, and the events of Federation Force do take place after the events of Metroid Prime 3. Now, in terms of Sylux's own personal history, his identity is unknown. However, he has been referenced through male pronouns, so that does mean that he's probably actually a male, and he's also probably a human because he does use stolen technology from the Galactic Federation, including his weaponry, his suit, and his actual ship. And besides that, all we really know that he has some sort of animosity towards the Galactic Federation. I mean, we know he stole all of that equipment from the Galactic Federation, and he invaded the Federation to steal the Metroid Egg. So then what does this mean exactly? What does this mean about his history? It is unknown at this point in time. Now, I don't necessarily believe this theory, but I do think it's worth mentioning. Some people believe that maybe the identity for Sylux could be Ian Malkovich. Ian Malkovich is a character who supposedly died before Samus even left the Galactic Federation to become a bounty hunter. He is the brother of Adam Malkovich, the person who was in charge of Samus before she left the Galactic Federation. After he died, Samus left. So some people believe that Sylux could somehow be Ian Malkovich. I don't think that's likely because he blew up in space. So it seems highly unlikely that a relatively normal human that blew up in space would be Sylux. However, I do think it's at least worth mentioning. Now let's try to bring in all the little things that we do know about Sylux and see what this could potentially mean for Metroid Prime 4. So we know that Sylux has stolen technology from the Federation Force. He even was able to invade the Federation Force and steal a Metroid Egg. So it seems like Sylux is very adept at invading and stealing many things from the Galactic Federation. And we do know he has some sort of animosity towards the Galactic Federation, so maybe Sylux has some sort of deep connection to the Federation. Perhaps at one point he worked for the Galactic Federation. But since he no longer is doing that and he is a bounty hunter, he could be someone who's working for hire and maybe could even be working with the Space Pirates in Metroid Prime 4. The Space Pirates would definitely want to work with Sylux because he is someone who could potentially rival Samus in terms of combating each other, and he could probably give them a lot of intel on the Galactic Federation, seeing as he's so easily capable of stealing so much technology from the Federation. But not only that, he may have even been hired to steal that very Metroid at the end of the Federation Force. And if that's the case, Sylux may even have been hired to steal the Metroid at the end of Federation Force to bring it over to the Space Pirates so they can conduct more research and perhaps genetically enhance that Metroid to make it the next Metroid Prime. In my opinion, this makes a lot of sense. Metroid Prime is about a supremely powerful Metroid. So then, what if this new Metroid at the end of Federation Force becomes the next Metroid Prime, and Sylux plays a pivotal role in doing so? So given that this Metroid is going to be stolen, of course the Galactic Federation is going to notice and have a big issue with it, and they likely will hire Samus as a bounty hunter to go and retrieve the Metroid. And this is going to probably be the inciting incident for Metroid Prime 4. Samus is going to pursue that actual Metroid and thus have to compete against Sylux, who is the one who has the Metroid. Maybe both of them will encounter each other several times throughout the game, and they will have to fight several times, kind of the same way Samus fought Dark Samus in both Metroid Prime 2 and 3. It would be a really cool thing to see, and on top of that, Sylux would be kind of different because he has his own technologies and powers as well, and there may even be some history there. We don't know for sure, but Sylux does seem to have some sort of fixation on Samus. We do see him following Samus at the end of Metroid Prime 3, so maybe, as someone who also used to work for the Galactic Federation, they know each other. I think that's also a strong possibility. And given that they may have had a previous relationship, that would definitely add a lot more to the narrative for Metroid Prime 4 and can make it even more interesting. So basically, the way I see things turning out, I see the Galactic Federation having a very strong role in this game. As Tanabe said, he wants to tie in the Federation Force and Sylux into the story for Metroid Prime 4, which is one of the reasons why they made Federation Force, because they really wanted to flesh out the world for the Galactic Federation. So the Galactic Federation is going to be tied into the story along with the Space Pirates, Sylux, and Samus, and you're going to have all these parties surrounding this Metroid, and I believe this Metroid will become the next Metroid Prime. So those are my thoughts on how I think Sylux could be involved with the story for Metroid Prime 4. But what do you guys think? Do you guys think it'll turn out differently? Let me know in the comments below. But anyways everyone, thank you so much for listening and watching, and if you're new here and you love Nintendo content like Metroid Prime, make sure to subscribe because we're definitely going to be covering the heck out of it. And also, I'm now streaming on Twitch, so I play a whole bunch of Twitch games like Banjo-Kazooie, Ocarina of Time, and HD, Metroid Prime, so if you're interested in watching gameplay, check out my Twitch account, the link will be in the description below. But that's all for now everyone, thank you so much, and I'll see you all really soon. Bye.